If you lost your job tomorrow, would your money still work for you? Today, we're going to talk about what exactly is assets and how we can get and what we can do to actually buy them. We're going to go over some examples of what assets are, how much it's going to cost for each one for you to actually achieve or to buy into, and what are the pros and cons of some of them. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to start having a plan on how to escape our paycheck to paycheck.
So the question is, what is an asset? So an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket and or grows value throughout time. Now, example of assets that people think it's an asset is, but they're not, is their car. Which is funny because we were talking about this with my wife this evening, and because I asked her the same question, like, what is an asset? And she told me, obviously not my car, because my car is owned by the bank. So that's not an asset. Or clothes, expensive clothes that we pay for. People think that might be an asset, but in reality, it's not. A famous quote said by Robert Kiyosaki is, "The rich buy assets, the poor only have expenses."
Okay, so jumping right into it, some examples for assets, right? So now the first one, we all should know about it. We all stay in one. We all live in one. It's a rental property. Now, in our case, we might be just renting to others, right? So our landlords are the ones that are like gaining that passive income, right? But let's say for us, if we wanted to get our rental property, we wanted that cash flow for us. Perfect example is just, being able or buying a home, buying an apartment, right? That's a lot of people, a lot of rich people, they have that, right? And they have these rental properties that produce them cash flow. So for us, one way to be able to get into it would be we're able to use FHA loans. We can borrow money from, well, if we knew some rich people, we can actually borrow money from private lenders instead of the actual bank. Sometimes that's actually even better. Or we can, if we're able to save up 20%, then you can do so 20%. And one example actually of that is, so maybe a lot of us, we probably live in LA. It's expensive, right? It's like $500,000 average for a house. But if you were to actually buy a house in another state and you can rent that one out, houses in another state might be around 150, 200,000. It might be a lot easier. You always have to find a way. Now, for some that don't know, FHA loan, the thing about it is you have to actually, it has to be your home, your primary home, at least for the first year. So you can get into a home that you plan to rent. Obviously, you want to find a good deal on it. So that way, when you get into it, you'll be able to just stay there for the year and then move again after while renting that one out. So that's one of the pros for there. And then the cons, but the con is it is some upkeep. You have to consider some maintenance and right. And then tenants, if you're not renting it out per month, and of course, right, like you're gonna be missing out on that. And then it's a big upfront cost. It does take a lot to be able to get into a rental property, but it's all doable, right? It's all doable. You just have to have the drive for it, right? Next on the list, dividend stocks, right? So I don't know if you've heard it before, but people will say, invest into blue chip stocks, right? Blue chip stocks, big company, big corporations that have been around for a really long time. Coca-Cola, AT&T, all these stocks, right? So they pay out a dividend. And basically it's just, you're just holding the stock. You're not even doing anything. You're literally just buying the stock and it just sits in your portfolio, and you're just getting paid dividend like every 3 months or however their dividend payout is set up. And the nice thing about dividend stocks is you don't have to worry about the market going up or down because you're just holding it, right? So it's like the market can crash, and you're gonna see, your portfolio like, oh man, like it's red, like but your dividend is probably gonna still stay the same, and so you don't have to worry about it. So that's the nice thing about dividend stock. The downside of dividend stock is the company itself might start losing some money for whatever reason, right? And so they might cut your stocks in half or something. So that's kind of the downside. But for the most part though, dividend stocks, if you got a strong company, or at least you're paying attention to those stocks, like You just gotta buy stocks, and then just start collecting dividend.
Question on that. Regarding dividends, can you emphasize on the process to even obtain a dividend? Like, do we have to buy the whole stock? Do we have to buy a portion of it? How much is the starter? You mentioned that it started with 10 cents, then it got up to 20. Like, how does it work? Like, are you continuously making payments on it to receive money back, or?
So the nice thing is you can buy, a portion of it, right? So if it's cost $200, but you don't have $200, you can buy like 20, $30, and then it'll start accumulating, and then you can reinvest the dividend back into the same share, right? You get paid out, you buy some more shares, and then you just continue like that. You just keep building up. Now, the thing about also is you have to look at the dividend payout. And so they'll show you the percentage that you'll get paid out. And so like AT&T, for example, it was like 7%, right? That's pretty high. It's not everybody does 7%, but AT&T, it's 7%. And then other companies are like 2%, 3%. And so based off of the percentage of each one, you would just go off of that. And then AT&T actually was a good example because, okay, it's 7% and the stock was, I think when I first got in it, I don't know, I'm just butchering these numbers, but I feel like it was like $50 or something like that. It was pretty low. So I was able to afford more of those stocks. So then your percentage is per stock. And then from there, it's like the more stocks you hold, the more dividend you get. So instead of going in so somebody was starting off, I would really recommend, just if you're going to go into some dividend stock, just look for a stock that's low in price and a decent amount of dividend. I don't go for just 7%, just 3%, 4%, 5%. But the more lower that you see the stock, the more stronger the company, making sure that you do your homework, then you can buy more shares of that stock, and that'll multiply how much you get a dividend. So that's definitely one way, somebody who getting into it, we can start making some little side passive income.
Okay, That's nice. Well, that's good to know. Number 3, it's ETFs. Now, what is ETFs? It's like, picture it like this: Easter basket. You get a basket with full of all these different candies. You get M&M's, Snickers, bunch of candies, all in one basket. So it's similar towards ETFs. It's a basket full of different companies' stocks or shares. You invest money into that bundle. The pros of that is you get diversities. A great option for people that are beginning in the investment industry. The downside of it is that the growth could take a while. How you can buy it? You can look at companies like Vanguard or Fidelity. That's how you can purchase a bundle or an ETF, which is also known as the ETF. Number 4, it's REITs. REITs, it's a real estate investing without owning a property. Big example, it's like a big corporation that has a whole bunch of real estate. And we just buy a portion of it, a share of it. The pros is you get dividends out of it. So it's like basic stocks. You buy a share of it and you get some dividends out of it. Without having to worry about, maintenance on the property or, tenants or none of that, hassle that, being an owner of a property takes. And you still get a little portion of that money towards you because you bought share. The cons is you're still subject to the risk of a market. Like if the market goes down, the same thing goes down with you go down with the market. So because it's like a typical stock. You know how stock is like a roller coaster. It has its ups, it has its rise moments, and it has the same way it has its rise moments, it has its low moments as well. So REITs is the same. You buy the share, you get a dividends of it, you get a portion of it, and then once the market goes down, same thing, your portion of it goes down as well.
People like to diversify their portfolios, right? So they'll put a little bit into ETFs, a little bit into stock, a little bit into REITs, just to be able to. So if one starts going kind of down, then at least another one is still kind of maintaining its profit, and then you can always just sell and then move your money somewhere else, right? So passive, you can call it passive, but you still have to put in a little bit of effort, right? And you still have to just kind of watch your money. Just don't just ignore it. For the most part, you can ignore it, but still keep an eye on it. Just make sure that you're not completely crashing down or something, right? But with that, we can go into the next top, and then to the next one, crypto. Crypto booming right now, right? Everybody's going into crypto. Even our country now is going to start using crypto, right? Using Bitcoin. So crypto, right? Everybody knows this is digital currency, right? So like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you can buy it on platforms like Coinbase, Kraken, even Robinhood. Robinhood also has crypto on it, and some of those. One thing to note about crypto is that, or just about the exchanges, is that not every single exchange is available in the U.S. So, for example, Binance, I think I pronounced that wrong. Binance, not in the U.S. You can't use it. And there's some other ones too that you can't use it in the U.S. Just a note. But do your research. Kraken and Coinbase and Robinhood for sure are some. So pros of that, high growth. We see Bitcoin right now going up to 120, right? And so along with a lot of other crypto coins, they're just going to continue to grow. What's nice about crypto is that you can trade at any time of the day, unlike stocks. Stocks it opens in the morning at 6 a.m. I think East Coast time. I don't remember. I didn't do my homework on that, but it opens at this time and it closes at this time, and you cannot trade after that. And crypto is not like that. Crypto you can trade at any time. You can, if you see it, because crypto, and this is one of the cons, right? But you can see it as a con or a pro, however you want to go about it. But it has volatility, and so what that refers to is basically like it moves way more than a stock would. So it goes up and down way faster than the stock would. Now, a benefit of having that is, I guess, say people that do trading, that can start doing trading on crypto, they can trade and they can get into those gains. So when it goes up, they can buy when it's low and then sell when it's high. And then because it goes up and down way often, you can do that a little bit more often, right?
Sorry to interrupt you. I just did a little research on the timing of the stocks. So stocks out there in the East Coast, New York City, opens up at 9:30 a.m. So we'll be like 6:30 a.m. on the Pacific side.
Got it. Okay.
Or people in California, and then and it closes at 4 p.m. So out here will be 1
p.m. Okay.
Yes, 1 p.m.
Yeah.
I think this is a 3 hour difference. If I'm 3 hours for California.
Yeah.
I don't know how many hours of difference. If it's 3, then it should be like 1 hour difference for you guys.
I believe so. Yeah, because we're 2 hour difference. So in Texas is 1 hour difference. So yeah. Okay. So I was going off of 6 a.m. because of when I was back in LA. Like I would remember it was super early in the morning, and so if I'm staying up late, working in the night, and I'm just seeing like, oh man, like I want to get into like in the morning, because usually in the beginning of the day, it's when you'll see a little bit more price movement, because once the market hits, like a lot of people kind of sell, because just the price itself has kind of been like either climbing or declining like throughout the night. So I would try to stay awake till 6 keep staying awake at 6 a.m. just to kind of look at that, try to buy in or try to sell. So that's how I remember, kind of 6 a.m. But yeah, you're right. 9 a.m. because East Coast.
Yeah, and it's typical. The idea is like typical supply and demand. As you mentioned, in the morning, it's supply is the earlier the better. First come, first serve.
Yeah. But it could be throughout the day. But and that so and that's with stock, right? But what's nice about crypto is because it's available like worldwide,
Yes.
you actually have different times that I believe when I was looking into it, there's probably about 3 different type of hours throughout the day that it goes up because this next market opens, like say like China starts opening up, and now they start trading crypto, and then or UK, their time is different, so they start trading at the same at their time, right? So it all like comes together, and so that's why different times, instead of just being at 6 a.m. I think I've seen it say 11 p.m. for us. It'll be like 11 p.m. for us, like 3 a.m. for us, and then like something like that. It's a different, completely different time. But it's because it's global. It's global.
Mm-hmm. It's like whatever's going on in China or Asia, it's 12-hour difference from here.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're waking up, we're like probably going to sleep, or when we wake up, they're probably getting ready to go to sleep as well. So it's a huge different gap.
Yeah.
Which makes it a global access, 24 hours, pretty much 7-Eleven access towards it.
Yeah. If you don't want to put your money into stocks and your money into crypto, well, where are you saving your money? Somebody else's wallet, and you go, spend it on expenses, or in your savings account, right? So a lot of us, I believe, we're doing our savings account. So if you're going to be doing it the safe way and just having a savings, then you might as well just go into a high yield savings. And a high yield savings is basically just giving you a higher percentage of APY while your money sits in there, right? And so, for example, like Ali Bank, SoFi Bank actually also offers high yield interest. Capital One offers high yield interest, and you just have to put you just put your money in there, right? So instead of just having it in a regular savings, at least this one, it's safe. It's insured because it's the big banks, and you get in percentage, like a higher percentage while your money sits in there. Now, again, and I mentioned this in the previous video. The thing about savings is, with inflation going up, our value of the dollar goes down. So we can get a little higher interest, while our money is in these type of savings accounts. But if inflation keeps going up, and inflation is more than what the APY is, you're getting for the dollar, like you're kind of almost losing, right? And so that's where you gotta, you just gotta be aware. You gotta be aware of these things, and that's what we're trying to share with you guys.
Yeah, that's very true, Frank. Regarding the high yield savings account, instead of why have our money just sit in a bank when we could just put it in a high yield. Another thing that was that is not forgot to mention, it's easy to open one. You could just open one easy as you log in can do it online. For those seekers that are actually looking to open a yield account, you could do it online. Going towards the next one is starting a business. What better way to make money than starting your own business? You could do that locally or even online, in which we see it nowadays. A lot of people are making money online. We have platforms like Etsy's. We have people using Shopify, e-commerce. A lot of people are jumping onto that to open their own business and promote themselves. People, surprisingly, you'll see it people are using TikTok, multimedia, to sell their business. Like I seen a clip of a guy. Every morning he's selling like ham sandwiches, and he puts his number online, like, hey, if you live in this county, feel free to give me a call. And he's like doing sandwiches like at 5 a.m. and people are actually stopping by to get their sandwiches. I'm like, what the? That's a bright way of making money, or having an asset. What is his asset? Whatever sandwich shop that he's making at home, which is a good one. The downside of it, it's taking a lot of his time. That's the downside. Obviously, it's going great for him, making money or like promoting and marketing. All great business, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to market. It's time that you're using to obtain that money, and there's a rate out there that for people that start and don't make their research, it leads to failure.
I honestly would not recommend for us that are starting off into investing it, unless you already have that drive and that want to start your business. Then hey, go for it, go all in, dive into it. You
Absolutely.
push through the negative thoughts, push through the negativity from people around you. If people are being negative around you about it, maybe make new friends. And if it's your family members, then you might need to like separate yourself just a little bit when it comes to that, right? Like, and not have those conversations with those that are negative, right? You need to surround yourself with people that actually will motivate you and actually are probably like on the same path as you, right? And so definitely, starting a business is something that it takes a lot of I would say, a lot of gut, a lot of just passion, and surround yourself with others that already have businesses. Surround yourself by other people that already are on that position where you want to be to, right? And just learn from them. And just one thing that definitely for any of this and all of this, when it comes to building your assets and building your wealth, is just be teachable. Be teachable, right? We don't know everything. And we're starting off from zero. A lot of us are starting from zero. We don't know anything, But I understand that we're probably older. We're probably in our 30s. Some might be in their 40s, and like we've already have this mindset, and we probably think, nah, you know what? Like, I'm not, like how they say, right? Like, you can't teach old dog new tricks. But I mean, we're not even that old, right? And so we have to definitely be teachable, be humbled when you're learning, and listen to those like that you're actually trying to learn from. We need to man up, and we need to like go out and get after it. Like, there's so much opportunity here, and we got to go after it, right? So that's just my little rant. But yeah, definitely just be teachable, be humble, and just learn. Just continue to learn, continue to just have that wanting to seek more knowledge.
Absolutely, it's like a passion. You have to have a passion for it in order for it to grow. Like you if you have a bright idea, hey, go for it. If you need to do a little bit more research on it, hey, why not? Just, it's more like a leap of faith, and who knows? By the day of tomorrow, that bright idea you had could be a great company.
Yeah, that's a lot of companies start like that, and then even a lot of companies might not even start immediately, or what I mean is, like, say for example, KFC, the owner of KFC, is it KFC? Think so. Where he was like 60, and he had the fried chicken that he makes, like he was trying to sell his recipe. When he was in the 60s, he was trying to sell his recipe to like a bunch of people, but nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to take it. And it was like, I don't know, let's say hundreds of people that he was trying to go to try to like sell his recipe or whatever, but nobody wanted to take it. And instead of quitting, he kept trying to look for somebody until he finally like met somebody or whatever company or however the story goes. And look at him, look at KFC now. Right? He became a millionaire in his 60s. Right? So it's never too late. It's never too late to start. It's never too late, to even get into a business. It's never too late. But
yeah, you're right. It was Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
KFC.
Mm-hmm.
I just did the research on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He in his 60s, he still did it. Right?
Yeah.
So we can do it. Because why not? Right?
Yep.
But
it's never too late. Never too late.
And so we just got to get up and do it. We just got to get up and go. And we got to surround ourselves with other people that, have the same mindset, have the same goal, have the same drive, right? Instead of sitting around, maybe chilling, drinking that beer, or just like, smoking that blunt, whatever, or just, sitting around doing nothing, complaining about the government, complaining about your checks, complaining about just life in general, and just putting yourself down with all these negative thoughts. How about you be the difference? The world ain't gonna do nothing for you. The world is not gonna come and like hold your hand and like, make everything better, right? The only one that can make anything better is God, right? But it also takes for us to get up and go, get up and walk in that faith, get up and walk in that like just that mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go, and then if it don't work out, I'm just keep on trying. I'm gonna just keep on trying. It's like right now, starting this channel. We're gonna try to start also like a business on the side. We're gonna start just trying this thing so we can start growing our asset portfolio. And like I told my wife, I'm like, look, if this doesn't work our conversation, I'm like, if this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna try something else. If we lose money on this, whatever, I'll just make some more money. Like I'll try something else. I'm not gonna stop trying to get something to work and get something off the floor until I'm dead, literally. Because it's like, if I quit now, I might as well be dead, right? Because it's like, how am I just gonna leave my family just suffering on the side, like just because I gave up, just because like I don't want to like push myself more. It's like, what else am I gonna do? I'm just gonna be home like just watching Netflix. Like I ain't gonna be doing anything, right? I'm gonna just be this little bum on the couch. And it's like, nah, I'm good off of that. So I'm gonna keep on trying, just the same way like the Colonel. What is that the guy from KFC? His name you just said. Just like how
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel
Just like
Sanders.
him,
Yeah.
just how he kept on trying. Just how a lot of other millionaires have just keep on trying. That's what I'm gonna be doing, and that's what I want us to do. Right? Anybody watching this channel, if you're still on this part right here, like just comment down below. Like I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna start. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start. I want y'all to write in the comments, I'm going to start today. Even if it's just starting with learning. Start watching videos. Start watching, like, maybe, do YouTube content, like content creators, that's, or like people that millionaires that are on YouTube, you can start watching them. Start just, getting on Audible and just start like download a book of like, millionaires of like how to make wealth or just, their mindset. And just listen to that while you're going to work or stuff like that. Like, start doing something so that you can progress your life. Get off the couch. Let's do it. We can do it. Why not?
That's very true. One of the points that we have is investing doesn't require a fortune, just consistency. Like $50 a month in the right place can become 6 figures over time.
So I leave you with this. You can do it. We can do it. Put our trust in God. Put God first. Put God above all. And let's get up and do it. Let's get after it. Let's learn about these assets. Let's grow our portfolio. Let's grow this wealth that will flow into our next generation and our next generation. Let's not have any more excuses. Let's just start. Just take that first step.
Absolutely. We're gonna end it up with one of the verses that we pressed and highlights the message we're trying to give out is Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So let's start smart. Let's start small and stay faithful.
Share the light.